Hey there, boys and girls, and welcome to episode 287 of Sonic Boom TV. I'm Kevin. I never say that in most of my videos, but I am Kevin, and I'm here with my recent records that I've gotten, I guess. I've got about 10, 9, something like that. Aside from the last two videos I just made, that were part of this, but I just decided to break it up into 3 different things. So these are records that I got off of Whatnot. Got some things from Spin Me Around Records, Spin Around Store, whatever they called on Whatnot, VC Vinyl, and Dead Broke Records. We'll start with the one I got from Dead Broke Records in here. Let me make sure I got these in the right order. Yes, I do. So we got one from them. I wasn't going to buy this until he said, I think he only had a couple left, and I was going to wait on it because I don't know this band. But it is kind of a nice, cool looking cover. Let's get right to it. It's called Love Battery. Love Battery Dayglow is the name of the album. First reissue of Love Battery's debut album, remastered from the original source by Jack Endino, includes liner notes by Ron 9 Rudzitis and photos, blue color vinyl. This is apparently a grunge band that I never heard of. And they were on Sub Pop, so that's weird because I knew a lot of the Sub Pop stuff back then. When this was out. This came out in 1992, so. Should have been on my radar a little bit, but I don't know them. Back cover. So I don't know any of the songs. I wouldn't know what a hit was from them or if they had one. But I don't even know these people in the band. So Ron 9 Rudzitis, Kevin Whitworth, Jason Finn, and Jim Tillman. Never heard of those guys, but that's the track listing. That's the people. I like this cover. I think it's, pop art kind of stuff. Really cool. I kind of briefly heard what he was playing, and it wasn't so bad, so I thought I'd take a shot on it. I think it was $26, and I think he gave me $2 off. I think. I'm not 100% sure because I can't find the thing. It says it, but we've got inner sleeve, photo, some liner. That's lyrics. We got some liner note stuff here. Oh, that's what they were talking about. Stories. Band photo. That sticker made it sound like there would be a lot more going on. We've got this blue vinyl with the pink center. Probably would have been better on pink vinyl, I would think. Pink with black in the middle, just to keep with the cover. I don't know who decides these things to make a blue record when there's nothing blue on the cover. I don't know. But this one ought to be interesting. I know they've got several albums out, so I just never heard of them. So it's always nice to find a band that you never heard of, especially if you like them. So hopefully I'll like them. Can't get it back in the sleeve. So that was from Dead Broke Records. Now these next couple came from VC Vinyl. This one I'm not going to open because I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. This is one I won a giveaway. It's called Logan Ledger Golden State, and it's got a Obi strip thing on it. I think he's a country guy. I don't know. Don't know anything about him. I haven't decided whether I'm going to try to trade this in for something or keep, or just keep it. If I keep it, I'll open it. I don't even know what color vinyl it is. It's probably black. The Obi strip thing does not tell. Doesn't tell. So I don't know on that one. The next one I got, I paid $10 for this one. And it is Travis, the Boy with No Name. This one I did listen to, actually. It's pretty, kind of pop alternative rock kind of stuff. You've seen me show some of their other stuff before. Got that back cover. This has a 7-inch single, which I'll show in a second. We've got printed sleeves with lyrics and stuff. Black vinyl. Plain. I think all their records have that plain center label. We've got a hype sticker. First ever vinyl reissue of the 2007 album features singles Closer, Selfish Gene, My Eyes, includes bonus 7-inch single Sailing Away, Lacquer's cut at Metropolis Studios, London. Got that. And the 7-inch single is in a paper sleeve. It is got the same kind of label, black vinyl, one-sided for one song. I haven't listened to this one yet. That's blank. I listened to the album, but not the single. But we'll get to that at some point, right? That's what we're always trying to do, is get to that. Okay. Then this one they used to sell for $5. I even made a comment about them selling this for $5, and then I bought it for $10. But it's just one that's been hanging around forever that I never want to buy. I didn't really like the other ones that I bought that much, but you know, whatever. It's Great A's. It's Chester Bennington from Linkin Park's older band. Great A's a men's stripped. So this is it's an EP, but it's got like interview stuff too. So it's Great A's a men's stripped, a 5-song EP that is an intimate acoustic take on a men's and includes a trio of 90s era radio interviews with the band, and then some letters or something underneath. It must be the album's codes or whatever. So basically it's a shooting out interview, sometimes interview, soul song interview, what's in the eye, and the syndrome. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5 songs like they said, and 3 interviews. So interesting. I think it's white vinyl. I'm not sure. Can't get it open. But yeah, they've had this forever. And then they said, "Oh, we're getting low on these, about to sell out or whatever," which doesn't mean anything when you're talking to VC Vinyl, because they always say they're about to be sold out of something, and then they're not. I don't know how to open this, guys. I think I just tore the sleeve. Maybe you don't open it, you just leave it in there, because it's probably not that good. Dude, this is incredibly tight for a record. I got a pair of scissors though. Oh man. I can't get it open. There it is. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we did it. Maybe. I rip this plastic all the way off. It's not doing any good to anybody. I usually like to leave my records in the sleeves, the plastic. I mean, I don't know why, but this one I'm taking it off, and I'm gonna save the stickers, of course. This is the tightest I've seen a thing in a while. The record. So this is kind of nice. This is like a matte finish, and then this has got varnish on it. So what Flower does as well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, it is black vinyl. Paper sleeve. Looks like it might be a little bit warped as well. But whatever. I'm not going to play this that much. Because I didn't like the 2 albums all that much. It's a weird thing because Chester Bennington, for some reason, became the guy who's popular out of Linkin Park, and I feel like Chester Bennington is the reason Linkin Park went from being kind of an awesome band to kind of being a weak poppy band. You know, they've got a different singer now, who is it's a woman. I don't know what her name is. It's somebody I know. I can't think of it right now. But from the songs I've heard, it's like they're trying to reinvent the original sound of Linkin Park, and my friend likes it, but I didn't find it all that great. The songs I've heard, I think I've heard like 2. So, but anyway, got this one. So nothing too exciting for that one. Wasted your time to watch that. The next thing I've got is going to be something that I'm going to send to my friend Dan from Off the Charts, who gets mentioned here quite often. If you've watched my last couple videos, this is the second one in a row, I think, that we've heard. But it's I got this from Spin Me Around Records. It's a one that I won. I've already won this before, so I got another copy. And it's How I Became Nikki Sixx. Even though I told him Tommy Lee, it's Nikki Sixx. And this is kind of cool. This metallic embossed kind of wording here. This is the first 21, How I Became Nikki Sixx. And basically, it's an audiobook. That is I don't think it's the whole book at all. I think it's just kind of excerpts from it, but it's kind of long, not long, but you know, at least 35 minutes or something like that. And it's just him telling stories. I think there's music in the background that you can hear. I don't know if it's Motley Crue music or what it is, but a Rare Bird vinyl audiobook, Los Angeles, California. It says there's Twin Falls, Seattle, Diamond Dogs, Los Angeles, Nikki 9, Nikki Sixx, spelled SYXX. Oh, and Nikki 9 is NIKKI, not NIK. The Starwood and New Monster. So it's basically just him telling the story of how he became who he is. Nikki Sixx, love him or hate him. It's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not something I'm listening to all the time, but it is. It's worth listening to once or twice. And I'll send that to Dan whenever I get a chance to send somebody in Canada something. Then this one I got because I wanted it, and for $20 I couldn't pass it up because when I've seen it, it's been 40 or more. And so it's one that. It's a band that I really only care about 2 albums. They're 2 great albums, I think. But Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power. The only other album I really care about by them is Cowboys from Hell. Far Beyond Driven and Great Southern Trendkill are okay. I don't need them on vinyl. I'll probably get them if I find them at $20. But the only other one I really, really want to have is Cowboys from Hell. Now, previous versions of this band was a glam metal band. And this is like groove metal is what they call it, but it's just heavy, kind of stuff. And this is one of the best albums, I think, of the 90s for sure. But of that style, definitely. Their glam metal stuff, I've never heard full albums by them, but I've seen videos and heard a couple songs here and there. I think they're terrible as far as a glam metal band goes, and they're people are talking about it like they're the best thing since sliced bread. They're not, and I don't know if those albums have ever been re-released officially. I know there's like bootleg stuff, and people have them. There's videos, and you see them posted all the time on Facebook and stuff. But they didn't want anybody to remember them as that. I didn't know that they were ever were that until sometime in the early 2000s, like, 15 years after the fact, at least 15 years after the fact, some guy that I worked with said something about the Pantera being a glam metal band, and I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, and he starts talking about these old albums, and I'm like, I've never ever heard that, and Pantera didn't want you to know. And I don't know that they would want you to know now if everybody was still alive, but the Cowboys from Hell and this one are great. This one's way better than Cowboys from Hell, and Cowboys from Hell is up there as far as, an awesome album. So, but I kind of lost interest after this. The next couple albums, they were okay. I didn't feel they were as strong, and then I kind of went away. So I think I've got on CD. I've got Great Southern Trendkill and Far Beyond Driven, but I don't know if I have anything after that. And I do have, the only other thing I have is there's a kind of like a greatest hits thing. That it's not really greatest hits. It's only got like 9 songs, and it's got some of the songs from this and some. I think it's got 1 or 2 from Cowboys from Hell, and then maybe 1 from one of the other albums. But and it's a funny thing. It used to be at Walmart. I saw it at Walmart and I got it real cheap, and I bought it. And then I was in there the other day, and they got an album that's almost the same look to the front of it, but it's different songs, so it's not the same thing. They're like, because the song "Fucking Hostile" is on that other one, and it's not on the one that I have, but it's not on the one that they got at Walmart right now. Did I say it's limited edition white true metal gray marble vinyl? Got that tracks picture. Mouth for War, New Level, Walk is probably the biggest hit. Fucking Hostile, This Love, Regular People, Conceit, By Demons Be Driven, Hollow, and a couple others. This is a really good album. Heavy, kind of almost a new genre they created. I guess I don't know if they created it, but one of the early adopters of it anyway. And then let's see what true metal is, and it's just basically gray splatter vinyl. But I got this for $20. Couldn't believe it. Great deal for that one, because like I said, I've seen it for about 40 plus, almost everywhere I've seen it, especially in record stores. So a good deal on that one. Now this next one, I thought I paid $20 for it, but actually I paid $22 for it. Same place I got it from, same deal, but somebody must have bid right when I bid, so I got it for $22 instead of $20. And that is the Soul Asylum album that I've never heard before, but I've seen many thousands of times. And it's Soul Asylum, While You Were Out. This one is the only one that I never owned or heard in any capacity. I think I've owned or heard at least everything else. I might own everything else. I'm not sure, in one format or another. But Soul Asylum, While You Were Out, third album from one of the most revered bands in the Minneapolis music scene, which also spawned The Replacements, Husker Du, and the Jayhawks. And I lost my little button. It's, see if I know any of the songs. Freaks, Carry On, No Man's Land, Crashing Down, The Judge, Sun Don't Shine, Closer to the Stars, Never Too Soon, Miracle Mile, Lap of Luxury, and Passing, Sad, Daydream. I don't know any of those songs, so this one's going to be completely new to me. I love just about everything that I've heard by them. They've gone through, several phases of, this is another tight one, of how, what their style was. I've seen this before. I was going to buy this from Dead Broke not long ago, but I held off and then got it cheaper because I think he had it for like $28 maybe. And that's mostly the price I've seen it at. Why is these things so tight? I can't open them. My pick will not go into the groove. And so, I held off, and then I saw it, and I was like, ooh, I got to get it at that price. And then I found out I got it for $2 more than I thought. So I got a little bit of discount on it from what I've seen it at. Of course, this is not an original pressing or anything like that. I can't get this one open either. What is going on with this plastic? Why are they wrapping these things so tight? What'd you do tonight? I watched a guy try to open records on the internet and he couldn't do it. There's a really funny story about my friend. I don't know how many of you guys remember a show called Popeye and Pals, but my friend was on that show when he was a kid, and there was a video made of the show, and he had to basically take a pillow and put it in a pillowcase and pass it to the next kid, and it was boys against the girls, and I think the producers of the show thought the boys were going to win because the prizes were, at the time, boy toys, which, you're not supposed to have boys and girls toys, but back in the day they did, in the 70s and 80s, and all these toys were like constructs and stuff like that boys would play with more than girls. Not that girls wouldn't play with them, but, the deal. And the boys were winning, and he could not put a pillow inside of a pillowcase and take it out. And those little girls just whooped him, and it was funny as could be. It was so him, and he brought that out during college and let us watch it. I don't know why he would embarrass himself in front of us like that, but he did, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. That's that. I don't know what got me onto that real quick, but there you go. There's a story and everything, right? Next up, this one I got two more. Both of these were $20. Collective Soul, their second album. I've been trying to collect this band through the Record Store Day stuff. They got their new album coming out this Record Store Day. I hope you get it. But I've got kind of some of them at the end of the career. The career's not over, but some of the bottom of the list and some of the top of the list. Still want to get the first one, which I found out the other day that they referred to the first one as a demo. They say that those songs were recorded, but not like a real album. Like they recorded the songs as demos, and somehow they threw them together to make this album when they got signed. And so this is technically what they think of as their debut album. It's a 25th anniversary edition of the triple platinum selling album. First time on vinyl, which I didn't know that. Featuring the hits December, The World I Know, Where the River Flows, and more. With Collective Soul, the band proves that it has goods to continue to shine on brightly. Rolling Stone. It's got a printed inner sleeve, band photo, some credits, lyrics on this side, black vinyl. Nice little thing. So I think I have on vinyl. I think I have now 5 albums. One of them is a live thing though that one of the Record Store Days did. Maybe 6, maybe more. I don't know. I have a bunch of them on that, and I have a bunch on CD. Probably have everything all together between CD and vinyl, but I'm trying to work my way to getting the vinyl one. So when I saw this one for $20. I jumped on it, but I said World I Know, Smashing Young Man, December, Where the River Flows, Gel is on this, and that's probably the best hits stuff on that. So that was pretty cool. Then we've got one more, which is an album that I was surprised to see because it was one that I missed out on, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to get it. I've seen it for much more than $20. And one of my favorite albums by the band, and that is Rat Detonator. I have this on CD, cassette, and now vinyl. This is another one that's kind of tight, but it's got a little opener. This one came out in the probably early 90s. Let's see a date on it. 2023. 1990 it looks like. I remember getting this cassette in high school, in probably my senior year. So 1990, 91. I probably got this. I got it on cassette, and then I later got it on CD. This is the last album by Ratt that I've heard. There's, I think, 2 other ones after this. I never heard them. Don't own them. I own now. I own all of their albums on vinyl besides those 2, and the very first EP I don't have. I have a copy of that on MP3s, but not a physical copy of it because it's kind of expensive. And you know, if I'm going to get it, for some reason I collected Ratt on vinyl, and not like CD and cassette at first. I think I do have some of them on CD and probably 1 or 2 on cassette as well now, but originally I bought vinyl, so the first 5 albums that I have I've always had on vinyl originally, and then this one, which is a repress, but still pretty awesome. This one's got it's got Intro to Shame, and then Shame, 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 Loving You's a Dirty Job, One Step Away, Heads I Win, Tails You Lose. That's the song I've always got in my head for some reason. All or Nothing, Giving Yourself Away, and some others. It says Ratt Detonator, Ratt's 5th album, including the hits Loving You's a Dirty Job, Giving Yourself Away, on limited edition red vinyl. That one actually did its job. So we'll go right there and let you read that if you want to read it. And we've got a black inner sleeve with just Ratt Detonator, plain black on the other side. So my heavy metal, glam metal collection is kind of getting pretty good now as far as the ones that, the important albums to me. I'm starting to get a lot of those, you know, taken care of, you know, in the last year or so. Even though I was out for 4 months of no job. But you know, I've got one more coming this week or next week that will also fit into that category. But you know, I've been getting a lot of that stuff, you know, reissues, and I don't care if it's reissue or original. But I'm getting to the point where I've got most of the important stuff, and then I can kind of maybe start looking into some of these bands I've never heard of, because I see a lot of people. There's a page that I look at on Facebook. I think it's called AOR Hair Metal something or other. And these people are always posting stuff that I've never seen before. It's underground kind of stuff, you know. It's glam stuff, but it never was mainstream. You know, it never got that far. So you know, I may check into some of that in the near future if I can start getting just a few more things that I really, really want by bands I really, you know, I really liked, and then I might start dabbling into other stuff, you know, along those lines. So anyway, that's it for this episode. We did 3 episodes in a row. I need a break because my voice is getting a little. So anyway, that's it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.